Good morning, everyone. Welcome to class 12 of Power Apps Learning. In this class, we will learn the Dataverse CRUD operations. Again, CRUD operations means C stands for create, read, update, and delete. So basically, data operations with Dataverse tables. In the past classes, we have performed the CRUD operations with SharePoint lists. So, what is the basic difference when you compare with Dataverse and SharePoint is typically speaking, there is no great difference. However, the biggest difference is performance. As we all know, the Dataverse is a inbuilt Power Platform database. When it comes to inbuilt platform, what happens is the application don't have to hop out of the environment to connect with the data source. What exactly that means is SharePoint is not in the same umbrella of Power Platform. When it had to establish a connection, it is going outside Power Platform. But in case of Dataverse sits within the same premises of Power Platform. So the performance is eye blinking. Okay. Having said that, in the last class, we have created a table called device details. Device information was an older table which I have created for your seniors. That's a old table. Forget about that. So when I click on device details, all I could see is what are all the columns I have in the table. By clicking on the columns, I can see that these are all the columns. Though we have created only few columns, I can see multiple other columns. Remember, like as SharePoint, in this also in Dataverse also, some of the columns will get generated by default. They are created by delegate, create on, and modified on, modified by. Okay, these are all the columns will come with the table by default. So these are all the various columns we could see, and relationships is when we could identify the relation between parent and child, because a device has manufacturer details. So the manufacturer name is right here, and which has many to one relation. That is when it will show up as a drop down or a lookup column in the new item or edit item form. Okay. And the next one is the keys. What are all the various keys we have? Since we have not added any key, we don't have. But if we want to add any key as a primary key, we can just add it here. Remember, we don't have a foreign key concept. Only primary key is the key. Just when you create a key, it acts as a primary key. That's all. Okay. And these are all the various forms. When you go onto forms, it will show you basically the Dataverse will come with three type of forms. One is the main form, card, and quick view. So when you click on main form, it will show you all the information of the field with a larger view, which is what you would see while you are adding an item or deleting an item. But when you see here, it is not showing up all the fields because by default it will only add the new item, standard field only, which is name field. So how could I add other fields is you see this? These are all when you click on this table columns, you will see all the fields. So how could I add this from here to here is just click on that. It automatically get added. So you can just drag and drop to change the positioning. Okay. So I can add as many as I want. I mean, all the columns, whatever the columns I want, and I can also change the column order, like as you could see, up, by moving here and there, I can change that. Also, I can make these columns read only, locked, hidden, and whatever the way I want to present these columns on the screen. Okay, so example, if I just say that read only, it will become a read only. It will not let the user to edit anything. And the lock also works similar. Okay, lock this cell to keep it from being removed, which means that it will not let the user to remove the field. Meaning once I lock it and when I just try to remove that field, it says like locked from fields cannot be deleted. Locked from fields cannot be deleted. So I have to unlock that and delete it. See that? That is how we can ensure that okay, these are all the fields I wanted it to be there under any circumstances. Okay, and if you notice the fields or name is the only one which is mandatory. None of them are mandatory. How I can make a existing field as mandatory is I can write a business rule. I can say that I can write a business rule on that particular field wherein I can say this is a required field. What is a business rule is business rules in Dataverse decides the conditional logic, meaning if I say that device uh, device cost is $1,000, then I should also mention my ID proof. Example. Say like one because it is an expensive object where user is planning to take it. So I should ask some more details. Or while I'm submitting the data, I want to ensure that that particular field is a required field. Though it is not a mandatory field in the table level, in this screen, I want to ensure that this particular field is required. Though that kind of a conditions, that kind of a logic we can implement with business rules. Any questions on that? Students, are you able to follow me? At the table level, you could see the business rules as part of customizations. That is the reason it is added or segregated into customizations because I'm enforcing additional conditions or I'm enforcing user to ensure that this is acting differently than the standard. Okay. Now, first we need to provide business rule. What I wanted to do, device price, I want to make it mandatory. Device price required. So, just to make yourself understanding aware, just to make yourself familiar with these business rules, I'm creating a simple business rule as a device price field is required. Ideally, I can also go to columns and I can edit the column and I can make the column as required. Okay, business required. See that? Business required. When I say business required, it automatically becomes a required field. So what is the option I need to say? Business required. So go to business rules, say description as this is to make the device price as a required field in the form. Now I have to add a condition. What is the condition? Condition name is uh, uh, device count, or like uh, yeah, let's say device count or device type. If the device type is a laptop, I wanted to enforce that. Okay, uh, device type verification validation. Okay, and what is the name of the entity is device details. That's the name of the entity, which is the table name. It is a non-editable. And what level I want to enforce the rule. There are two levels. One is the entity level and other one is all forms. Okay, meaning that is it like at the farms level or is it like any other place? When I say entity level, it implements this screen, this rule at the table level. Okay, now device type equals laptop. Okay, then I want to do that. I want to perform this condition. See this. This is the condition we are implementing. What is that condition? Device type is laptop. Then I want to enforce a logic that user must provide the device price. I'll remember students. I always have to press apply in business tool. If not, it will not work. Okay. Then what I wanted to do, set business required. You see that? Similarly, like the way how we have business required, so we have to say set business required, right? What field is required? Device price is business required, right? Make device price required. Okay. Now again apply. Unless you apply, it will not get applied and it will not get saved. Okay. Again go to component. If it is not the case, again set business required and field is device price, not business required. May set make device price optional. Say apply. Okay. Now first thing is validate. Good. My validation is successful. I can say save. So once I save that, it will apply this business rule at the table level. Now, if I just once it is saved, then activate it. Steps, what are the steps? First, validate, save, and then activate. I'm sorry. So, save, validate, save, and activate. So, when you save, it automatically validates and saves the business rule. Unfortunately, business rules will take a bit of time to activate, and in fact, while you are editing the business rule, also it will take a bit of time. The reason behind that is it is not doing on this, it is going on to CRM. You see that CRM Dynamics is dynamics.com, because all these rules are going under Dynamics platform. Database is end of the day, it is residing under Dynamics platform, and doing the changes from there. For some reason, it is taking more than usual. Okay, by the time it is getting completed, when I come here, this is how it is going to show. When once this business rule is applied, this form, I'm going to save this form. Always in data hours, when you are making any changes, save and publish. Okay, that is when it will get published. Now once business rule is activated, also we might have to publish the changes at the date table level. Okay, let me go on to see the business rules. There you go. Business rule is created, but the status is active because it is still activating the business rule. Okay, let it take its own time. Uh, and the next one is views. What are views? Views in Dataverse table is to show a different level of filters. Meaning, if you notice here, I can add and I can show all the columns, right? So, but whereas views is something to say that okay, active device details, deactivated, inactive device details. But if I want to see at a glance that what are all the devices where the price is above $500, there is no such what you call view here. But how could I see here is that I can just say edit, edit. So here it is giving me an option to edit the rows. There is no way it is letting me add additional conditions on this. So how could I do that is I have to come here, filter by greater than 1000, and I apply. It is showing up, but it is a long process. There must be a way where the user should be able to select a view to see all the devices where the device price is greater than $1000. So how could I do that is I could perform by only creating a different view. Now, hmm, seriously, come on, come here, views, and you can create a new view stating that high priced devices. This view is to show all the devices price more than $1000. So when it comes, it automatically just shows the one column, which is again name column. Now I can add all the columns whatever I want by just select drag and drop. Okay, You see that? Just drag and drop will show that. Now do this type and create it on. Okay, for now only these five columns I wanted to show. But where will I add the conditions is edit filters. Here I will add the condition. Say like device price is greater than. Now if I want to add one more condition as a device type, laptop, so this can also be done, and this will become and. So do you see that this and that? Okay, if you want to create another row, you can create another row for another condition. Okay, students, are you able to follow? Or else, if you want to make this as a group, you can always make it as a group. And or basically, what I wanted to say is that in the logical statements, we can always say as if A greater than B and B greater than C, or C is greater than 100. This is one way of if condition. Another way of if condition is, I'll say this or this. So here I am just making this condition as a compound condition, and on top of that this, correct? So that grouping is this particular grouping is that. So when you see typically this is, these two conditions are this. On top of it, if I want to add R and and class, I can add here. Okay. Now here add another row. This one I can make it as uh, and class or R class on top of it. Okay, here also I can just do this. What I mean to say is that here I can add one more row, one more row. Okay, are you able to follow me? And if you are not interested to continue as a group, you can always ungroup it. And beauty is I can group only the required set of things into a group. See, now I can make it as R. Okay, so this will become R, and top of that it will become and. Now I'm just interested in only price, so I'll just say okay. Now I can see this filters here. So immediately the data got filtered out. Now save it, activate. I'm just doing business rule also activation. Now the business rule is activated. And now if I go here onto the business rules at the table level, now the business rule is active. Okay, now the business rule is active. Okay, let it go. So now again, publish. I have created a view, and now I need to publish that view. Okay, so where I could see all these views in action is there is another app called model driven app. If you recall our beginning days classes, Power App has two type of apps. One is the model driven and other one is canvas and model driven. Whatever we have learned all these days are called canvas apps, and the model driven app runs on top of model, which is on runs on top of tables. That is what is going to help you to leverage all these views and business rules. Okay, any questions? Okay, now if I just want to go ahead and let me first clear this filter here. Now, if I just go and see under views, I can see one more view called high priced devices. When I go there, I can see the view in an editable mode. Okay, but when I create a model driven app, this view will come as a drop down. Let's go ahead and do that in a minute. First, understand how to create a view. Okay, and the charts is advanced. We are not going to cover in this. Dashboards is advanced. We are not going to cover comments. We are not going to cover. Okay, so these are all the various options we have. So let's perform the CRUD operations on this table in two ways. One is a model driven app and the other one is canvas app. Okay. Having said that, how we could create a model driven app is come all the way to make.powerapps.com, apps, come here, model driven. Okay. So now I'm going to create a model driven app as a device. Okay. Create. So this is going to create a model driven app for me, which helps me to navigate and create the uh, new items in the device table and update the device details. So if you notice here, the navigation is completely different and views are complete view of this app is completely different. In the real time, user wants to create a colorful UI or interactive user interface, the approach is canvas app. If user is okay to go with a basic UI but a quick output, then the best friend is model driven app. In model driven, you cannot customize anything unless and until you go with another approach called converged apps. What is a converged app? I can render a canvas app on top of model driven app. Again, that's an advanced topic. We are not going to discuss about it. I don't want you guys to get confused with too many things, so I'm not, going to bother you. So first thing is add a page, table-based view and form, or a dashboard or a custom. I'll just go with table-based view and form. Go next. So what is the table? Device details, correct? So I want to show that in the navigation, which means that here, add. See that? It got created, device details. And the beauty is here I can see that. Where could I see that view is here. This is the best performance app you could create in no time. How long it took for us? Hardly 5 minutes. Now, When I say save, remember app is done. There is nothing more you need to do here. Publish. Once this app is published, we will play the app in the regular mode. Okay, this is edit mode of the app. Let's go back to make.powerapps.com and see how a model driven app look like. And the first thing is that you could see what is the type of the app here, right here. And when I click on the app, it will start loading the app. See this, within no time I'm able to create a quick user interface, high priced devices and active. Okay, fine. If I want to create a new item, go ahead and create a new item. If you notice here it is clearly showing only the fields which I have added as part of this form. Now, if you go here, name, device count, device type, currency, device price. Come here to the form, same thing you could see. Now, if you want to say device title also and save it, publish, it will now show device title also as part of the screen. It takes a minute or so. See that? Are you guys able to follow me? Now, sample device, uh, Dell laptop, and device count is 2, device type is laptop. Notice that now the device price is not coming with a asterisk, right? Now when I say like laptop, it immediately showing it as a mandatory field, right? And I try to save, it won't let you save because device price is mandatory for the type laptop. When I say notebook, it is not mandatory, and I can save it happily. But whereas I say laptop, because if you remember, we have written a business rule as if the device type is laptop, I always want a user to provide the price, right? Now I'll say $1,200. I can say save or save and close. When I say save and close, oh, there it is. The maximum price is that. Okay, save and close. And now, if I just go high priced, see that the Dell laptop, where is that? Oh, I have not mentioned that price is 999 right now. If you just new to old sample device, see that just now I created. And if you notice here, this is not friendly, right? What it is showing name and created on. How could I change this view is again go to views here quickly and select the views and select active device details. Here I can add all the other columns I wanted to see as part of the view. Okay, device type. Now we can save it and again publish. Remember in model driven or in data or stable customization, everything has to be published. If you do not publish, you will not be able to see that change on the app. Now you see that. And another thing is it automatically gives the default pagination behavior. Do you notice this is default pagination behavior? Any questions so far? In this approach of model driven, you can delete a record or deactivate a record. What is deactivation? The record will be available in the table physically, but it is not an active record where user can perform operations on. Okay, I can delete or deactivate. Now, if I just say deactivate, yes, please, this will go out of active records. And where could I see that? Inactive device details. See that? Now I can see one device is inactive. If I want to activate it back, I can just select and review and just say activate. See this read only, this record status is inactive. There's nothing I could do. I cannot change any modifications on this record. Now if I activate it back, it'll come and get activated. And now no more inactive. And when I go back to active, I could see it as active record now. Clear? And if you, in case, while working on this view, in case if you want to add any additional conditions, you can always edit the filters then and there. Stay that, okay, this is active, fine, add row, device price is greater than or equal to $500. Say apply, there it is. It automatically shows, but this will not be available once I move out of this view. Say like high price reviews, high price device. Now when I come back, the filter will go off. Okay. Now if I just say edit filters, oh my goodness. Okay. If I come out, if I refresh that, my bad, sorry. If I refresh that, the filters will go off. Now, if you notice, there is no asterisk right next to this active device details. When I come here, edit rule, edit filters, I don't see that. Again, device price greater than or equal to 500. Say apply. I see a change on the view. So what I could see, a star right next to the name. Clear? Any questions? This is how I can perform CRUD operations in Dataverse table with model-driven app. I repeat, model-driven app. So those who are planning both admin and user, if you really want, you can create a model driven app quickly so that backend user is not going to log in or anything, just they will come onto this model driven app and they can perform all the operations. Basically, I can add a new device, I can update a device price, I can perform all the backend job with the help of model driven. Remember, when the backend team is working on the source data, they don't have to have a colorful UI. Most of the organizations, what they do is they will blend their requirement with both model driven and canvas app. User interfacing screens or user operating screens are all get implemented with canvas, whereas the backend team who updates the details or who add the details will be operated with model driven apps. I'll take a pause. I repeat, in Canvas app, like the way how we perform the CRUD operations on top of a SharePoint list, here also no change, but only change is data source. The data source is now not a SharePoint list. The data source is what? Dataverse. Now just click on add data device details. Okay, select that. Boom, it will get add. Come here. I'm going to create a new screen, a blank screen. Okay, here I'm going to add just a simple heading. Here also the same, there is nothing difference. I'll just add edit form, but here I'll provide the data sources device details. Created on is not needed, and I'll just add two buttons. One is for submit, and the other one is for cancel. నేను చెప్పింది ఇదే మీరు I'll have to change the form mode to new and play the app, say like sample device 1, device count 2, device type is a laptop. When I try to submit, it will give me, it is not giving any error because it is a Canvas app. Now if I when I go and see active details, created and new to older, you see that device sample device 2 did not go in because device laptop type is laptop, but the device price is not available, and moreover submit I have not written anything. Submit form of form 1. Now if I just try to submit it, I'll get an error stating that what that is a required field. See that? But whereas if I say notebook and say submit, boom, it's done. It went through. Now if I go here, do you guys see that? I can delete that record. I'll just delete that record. I'll come back here, and if you play the form again, okay, cancel, reset form. Submit. It doesn't let you because the device price is mandatory. Sample device 2 count 1 laptop, and it has to be $1,200. Say submit. This time also an entry is required on or has valid value, invalid value, because the device price I have mentioned as more than $1,000. In the table we have defined the table in such a way that columns, device price, we have enforced the maximum value as 1000, advanced maximum value is 1000. Let's say 10,000. Save this and go back to the Canvas app. Come to device data sources, select the ellipsis, refresh that, which will pick up the latest data source. Okay, now go to here. So it got submitted. Now if I come here, there it is. Okay, that is how you can perform CRUD operations on Dataverse table from Canvas app. Any questions?